All right, so let's look at how to make a slideshow and video like all the great Lucidchart videos that we've seen. You've made this great little flow chart, whatever yours looks like. One of the first things you want to do is go up here to edit, make sure you have spell check turned on, and then go back and look for any red squigglies, red underlines to make sure that you've got everything fixed. Of course, QFT is not a real word, so that's underlined. All right, so now we're going to make this into a little slideshow, and this does all the swoopy transitions from slide to slide automatically. So I'm going to click there. I like to change the 16:9 to a 4:3. Makes it a little bit more squared off. So I'm going to pick my first slide. For your first slide, you usually want an establishing shot, pretty much the whole thing. And you can see as I manipulate this thing around, it's pretty intuitive. You don't want to go way off the page. And the reason for that is it will, you can see there when I go off, it extends my margins. And now I don't have a page anymore, which could be frustrating if you don't know what happened there. All right, so I selected everything for my establishing shot. That's what I'm going to talk about what this document is. Then I'm going to say, let's go to one of the sections and I can start explaining it in my video. So I'm going to make a new slide and I'm going to size this much smaller, which is going to have a zoom in effect. So I'm going to go up here and explain that in these little rows are called swim lanes. So I'm going to start up here in the QFT swim lane, and I'm going to show the viewer that I've got a QFT, and all of these standards are things that we can use in a QFT. So I'm going to just establish that. Now for my new slide, I'm going to move along and show that in my first QFT standard, I have engage in open-ended processes, blah, blah, blah. You can read that. Then I'm going to make another slide about the same size, maybe smaller. That'll give a little bit of a zoomed in effect. If I grab that corner and just pull it in, they're kind of auto-sized. Yeah. So the next slide I hit is going to be that same size. So you can see how that's kind of zoomed in right there. I'm going to hit another one. And then I'm going to hit one more slide. Now, if I was doing this for real, I would probably then make a slide that goes down to the next swim lane, which is no need to know. And then I would do each one. Then my final shot would be another overall arching establishing shot that shows everything. But let's just go to present slides. So now you want to use whatever screen recorder you have. So for me, I'm using, you can see the red dot right here on Screencastify. Some of you like to use Loom, but you're going to set that to record and you're going to start your slideshow and talk it through. So I could say, this is a chart about ID tools and competency correlation. So you know which ID tools can be scored with which competencies, and let's get started. You'll see the first one I have is for the QFT. Let's take a look at how you'd score the QFT. And you can see I'm advancing the slides with the keyboard just by hitting the forward arrow. And it's moving along from slide to slide as I talk about it. So then I'll go to the next one. And you can see it just has that real smooth transition. It just looks like you're moving around the paper, which makes that nice effect like the Lucidchart YouTubes that we've looked at with the doggos and the snicks. So as you move it along, you talk about each one, and then you finish up with a big establishing screen. You can go back. You can do whatever you need to do. And then when you stop recording, you can transfer this video to YouTube, edit it, do whatever you need to do. But that's a way you make a nice, quick, easy way to use Lucidchart to make a video.